a Mississippi Gamer Society Board Time Things production.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Bargain Bin Buddies, the podcast where every episode one of us is chosen by the almighty wheel to pick out a game that costs $5 or less at the time of choosing. Will the chosen one choose an indie gem for everyone, pick up a AAA on a steep discount, or use their wheel-given power of choice to troll everyone here? Before we get into it, let's go.
Hello, guys. I am JB, creator of Mississippi Gamer Society.
What's up? I'm Mike, owner of Teach We Read Productions.
Hey everyone, I am Tyler of the Bargain Bin Buddies podcast.
And hi everyone, I'm Jason, now leeching off of this podcast as a more permanent guest.
And this week, I'm Caleb. I finally got to pick the game, and this time I decided to torture everybody with Blasphemous. Let's get to it. So Blasphemous was made by a Spanish developer called The Game Kitchen, and it's kind of a Metroidvania game. If you haven't played a Metroidvania, or played Metroid or Castlevania, then you won't know what we're talking about. Anyways, due to the time between the last podcast and this one, the game's no longer on sale, so sorry, folks. But when we picked it up, it was $4.99. And it was one of the best $4.99s I've ever spent. This is an awesome game. I freaking love it. I don't know how the other guys feel, but I love it. This game was great to me.
I'm standing right beside Caleb on this one.
You're also wrong.
So it's totally wrong, but you're stupid.
We'll get down to individual thoughts in a bit, but I'm gonna read a little bit of the story because understanding the story of this game is near impossible without a degree in theology and all the weird blasphemous, pun intended, twists and turns that they do to this. So, in Blasphemous, you play as the penitent one. He's the sole survivor of a massacre of the Silent Sorrow. Trapped in an cycle of death and rebirth, it's down to you to free the world from its terrible fate and reach the origin of anguish. To do that, you start off by performing the 3 mercies and gazing upon 3 golden visages. And that's as far as I understood the story, because from there you're just exploring, killing bosses, exploring, dying again. Exploring,
Lots of dying
again.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, the game's got a lot of religious undertones. Well, not even undertones. It's very heavily influenced by heavy Spanish Catholicism influence. There's a little bit of Buddhism here and there, if you know anything about religions, and a little bit of Hinduism. They talk about escaping to the dream and stuff. Hence the name Blasphemous, because none of it... this game's not getting you into heaven, let me just say that. I actually beat this game. I've played this game prior to this podcast and didn't get that far in it. I saw the game was on sale, thought this was a good time to come back and get to it. And I played it, enjoyed the crap out of it, and played it to the end. Did anybody else beat the game in this time period? Or even enjoy their time with this game?
I beat it. And I enjoyed pretty much the whole time I played it. It was very addictive. And I think the ending, there's multiple endings. And I got the bad ending.
I also got the bad ending.
But it was still a good ending, I guess. Like, in story-wise, just like the way it narrated the end with the bad ending.
I don't know what the quote-unquote good ending is to this game, but I'm not sure that it would be a positive ending to go along with the rest of the game.
I did go through and I watched on YouTube, like, the different endings.
Yeah.
And the good ending still is, like, it's not that good of an ending. Like, you'd have to watch it and go through it yourself and figure out what you gleam from it, because it's kind of I kind of say it's open for interpretation on how you feel about it.
No, I
Did
know.
Anybody else beat the game?
I did not beat the game.
No, I did not.
Anybody...
we will worship at the feet of you wondrous people.
Of the penitent ones.
The penitent ones, the true penitent ones.
Now,
did
my
anyone
question
at least
is,
did anybody else at least get through the first 3 bosses?
No.
No.
No, it did not.
I got through the first 2, and I
Okay.
mean, this will come up a little bit in the individual part of our experiences, but I could not for the life of me find the 3rd. And it got to the point where I was like, I've done enough. I'm good.
My dude's still sitting in the sewer somewhere.
Yeah, that's where I stopped playing first time I played this game, but used the, like I said, podcast for an excuse to come back, and I'm glad I came back, because the sewer was kind of inconsequential second time I went through.
Yeah.
But I mentioned earlier that this is a Metroidvania style game. It does have an awesome pixel art aesthetic. I really dug it. What'd you guys think of the graphics in this game? Being a modern game, having that 2D old school feel.
I actually really loved the old school feel of it. I thought it looked super cool.
Honestly, I don't think the game could have worked if it didn't have that art style in it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, it just met with the game. And to me, like, it's Metroidvania, but also when I was playing it, it felt a whole lot like a 2D Dark Souls.
Yeah, it did.
I believe that is part of the inspiration. They
And this is coming from a guy that does not like to play Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the game a lot. Like, I didn't really find like a lot of trouble with it.
Oh, I had some trouble with some bosses, let me tell you, especially near the end. The people-sized bosses sucked more than the screen-filling bosses, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Trying to figure out their movements and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And to me, the boss fights are the highlights of this game. They're very, very well designed. You have to basically play precision perfect on some of the later ones, because a lot of them don't even give you time to heal. Not unless you know the pattern.
Yeah.
Never made it that far.
How far did you make it? You said you beat the first 2 bosses. Which 2 did you fight?
Tree guy.
Okay.
Then from there you kind of make your way into the sewer.
Yes.
And I tried my hardest to get through the sewer. I still think y'all are pulling my leg when you say you don't need the little silver thing to get through the smoke. I could not find my way around one part of the smoke, of the poison gas.
Yeah.
Like, it was just insurmountable. I don't think there was a way around it.
Oh, I never actually. Okay, so similar to most Metroidvanias, you progress by finding items or abilities to allow you different traversal methods to get from area to area.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Shortly at the beginning of the game, there's a locked door, and I didn't know it until I was near the end. You go to that locked door, you get something that allows for blood platforms.
Yeah, I had to backtrack the whole way.
I had to backtrack a long way to get that. And Tyler picked it up like near immediate. The game would have been much simpler had I done that. Now, all of these are optional. None of them are required, which I thought was crazy. So what you're saying, Tyler, is those gas clouds in the sewer?
Mm-hmm.
All optional. You were going the wrong way.
Well, I mean, it really did.
If it makes you feel better, me too.
It really did open up the rest of the game for me, because like I went back. It got to the point where I was just like, I can't do anything, so I'm just going to look around. And I went back to the merchant, and it had a key, and I was like, what does this key go to? And I read the description, and I was like, all right, I got to keep that in mind. And then I went all the way back to the beginning, expecting me to have missed something, and then I found that door, and I was like, oh, that's where the key goes. So I went all the way back to the merchant, grabbed the key, went all the way back to the door, got the blood platform thing, and then oh my gosh, the mountains. Oh gosh. So at the point,
mountains are rough.
The point I took on the mountains, I had not figured out that you could get more health. So I was base health trying to get through the mountains.
Yeah, the mountains were definitely rough.
Let me tell you, if you spend 3 hours, it's like I compare it to the stupid like guy in the pot game where he has the crowbar or whatever it is, the pickaxe, and you go all the way up the level and then you get pushed back down.
Getting over it with Bennett Foddy.
Yeah. So I spent 3 hours trying to get up the mountain with base health, and I finally got up it. And what does it reward you with? A brand new enemy that can one tap you if you have advanced health. So it killed me. I raged a little. The one that like slings the pot. There's one right before the save point. There's one right before the save point at the top of the mountain.
Did you go to like an area on top of the mountain before like a big church or something?
No.
I'm trying to think of what you're talking about.
No, the church I think is like I said, the lady that
something
slings
throws
the pot.
a pot at you.
Yeah, or slings the pot or whatever it was. It was something.
Oh, frick! Yeah, those suck. Those suck hard.
And and you can't just walk by them. That's not how they work. So I got killed after 3 hours of trying to go up.
You have to
and then
slide.
I had to. Yeah,
you can slide.
Yeah. So then I did it all again, but with the added knowledge of how to do it, and I finally got up to that save point. But man, it was the mountain was a challenge because of the no health, or not no health, base health. And then I completed all that to get to the like base guy, and that was the last boss I beat.
So for anyone wondering, do not try to plug in a PlayStation controller and play this game. It does not work. Found that out the hard way myself. It just had like random numbers for all my keybinds, and I was like, what the heck? And like some of the buttons didn't even work, but when I plugged in my Xbox controller, it was fine. So at first, when I first started playing the game, I was like, this game sucks. None of these work. And then Caleb said, no, I love the controls. They work great. I was like, are you serious? Something's up with mine. And then I just swapped to the Xbox controller. I was like, oh yeah, it is a lot better. It's like that old school feel.
I have a confession.
What's that?
I kind of broke the bargain bin rub buddies rule. I had this game already on PC, and it's $5 on PC. But we played this game over Christmas, and I was doing a lot of stuff over Christmas, so I got the game on Switch, and I broke our budget. It was $6.99. I'm sorry.
He cheated.
Get this guy out of here.
He cheated.
Blasphemy.
He's a big fat phony.
But I will say the game played great on the Switch, and honestly, it felt like, Metroid Fusion was my first Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah.
And I got it for Christmas. And getting this around Christmas time kind of made me feel like a little kid again, because it was all nostalgic and Metroid Fusion-y and Castlevania-ish. And I loved it. It's one of my favorite Switch games right now. I'm trying to go for that New Game Plus, but man, the Ascensions.
I will say that it does not play well in Steam Stream or whatever it is. I can't remember what it was. Steam Link?
Oh, Steam Link.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't have good luck with that?
I did not. I didn't have a great connection for my PC anyway, which is why I stopped doing that. I really just wanted to get it on the TV so I could like game on the couch. That was my goal. And I didn't have a great connection, which I knew that. But the main issue was, well, I don't know why I always find the bugs in the game. Once you died, which happens a lot, none of the buttons on the controller work to let you continue to the game. So I would have to walk.
That happened to me.
All the way upstairs,
like that.
Press my space bar on my computer, walk all the way downstairs back to the TV.
So you have extra incentive not to die.
Dude, that was
wonder you rage quit.
Fun fact, you can't get the good ending without dying. So dying is a mechanic in the game.
How about that? Oh, trust me, I was abusing that mechanic.
the amount of money I spent, not wasted, but spent to get my the blue bar back, the Magica bar. I can't remember what it's called. But you had to go back and pray.
Oh yeah.
So much money down the drain.
Oh yeah.
Some of the things the game
Good
doesn't
way
tell
to go.
you too, because it's stuff you have to figure out on your own or cheat and look at a wiki. There's a church at the beginning of the game
Mhm.
that allows you to donate, whatever. I didn't know what it did, but I kept donating, and as long as you go back, it does a lot. That's really helpful. And anyone listening to this who's never played Blasphemous and wants to, donate as much as you can as early as you can, because eventually you can unlock the ability to teleport between save stations.
Which is
That is a
rad.
godsend.
And then the max out for the donation, you get a different skin for your character.
I did not max it out. That is cool.
Yeah, it's I think it's 50,000
Should take
to
a
max
while.
out. Yeah, I think I had stopped at 40.
But Tyler, one of the donation perks, free prayer. You don't have to.
I didn't get to that point for sure. I should have. I would have saved so much money.
See, I didn't have to pray that, like, hardly
only
ever.
Did that when I was really annoyed and didn't
Like,
want to go back to my death spot.
I went back and got my stuff. Like, I went back and got it because I was like, no, I'm going to do
Or
this.
if I died in a gas cloud.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's a couple items that I found. I didn't know. I'd already beaten the game before I knew there was a relic or whatever you could get to allow you to stand in gas clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Glass clouds.
What I did was to kind of power up your character, you get rosary beads.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And one of them allows your abilities to last longer. And I had an ability to let me be invincible for about 10 seconds. So I did that and put that on the rosary bead and went through the gas clouds to get the items that were hidden within. And that was hard because 10 seconds is not a long time.
No, that was how big the gas clouds were, especially. So
I never got the ability to be invincible.
But
Just
there's a lot of
play
different
hard mode,
cool
dude.
abilities.
And this game is hard.
But I did get the relic to just be immune to poison gas.
I did not. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it is. And it's amazing.
Yeah, I bet it is.
It opened up so much.
So with all of its religious tones and stuff, this game is dark.
Super dark.
Like dark.
Like there's no like good in the game. Like there's nothing good.
There's no hope. This game is nothing but despair.
And they talk
and that's
about
what
it
it's
all
trying
the
to convey.
time. Yeah.
Which brings me to something cool that I saw in the documentary. So I know a couple guys in here, big music guys. Do you remember any of the music in the game? Like, do any songs just like stand out more than others to you? Or do they just kind of play background noise?
They're just kind of background noise.
Yeah, they kind of just play background.
That was a purposeful design choice. In the documentary, the creative designer wanted the music to be as unepic as it could be. There was no organs, no choir, none of that was allowed. But if you listen to the songs, one of the main instruments is a hurdy-gurdy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And one of the coolest things about the behind the scenes is that nobody had a hurdy-gurdy. They're like, this is going to sound so cool. I got this idea and it would fit. And the guy heard it and he's like, yeah, this would be great. We just need a hurdy-gurdy. They couldn't get one. So they 3D printed one.
Oh my gosh.
They 3D printed a hurdy-gurdy and recorded the soundtrack with it.
That's awesome.
Now, I did listen to the soundtrack today on Spotify, and the DLC soundtracks, eventually he got to use an organ and use choirs and stuff. But for the most part, the guy just wanted the game to be as depressing as possible.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it worked. That's why that's why the music is the way it is. Nothing really stands out.
Yeah, for sure. How about that?
In the 90s said you wouldn't download a hurdy-gurdy, would you? And someone was Spaniard. Yes, I would.
Yeah, I would, buddy.
You wouldn't download a hurdy-gurdy.
Piracy is a crime.
Honestly, I always think back about that. Like when somebody's like, well, I don't have this. I just can 3D print it. I'll just make it real quick and 3D print it. It'll take me about an hour to 6 hours, whatever. And then you think back like 1920s or even like 1800s, someone just being able to do that. And it's like, well, technically that'd be magic.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's just pure magic.
Yeah.
Because you're creating something out of technically nothing.
Off topic,
Not wrong.
real quick, talking about 3D printing. I recently saw something that allowed you to 3D print inside a block of gel, so there's no need for a base for your
I did see that.
to print stack up. You could just print any shape you want without having to balance it on something else or whatever. I thought that was really cool. Anyway, side note. Back to the game.
Now, my question is: did anybody get to any of the DLC content?
I wanted to,
Oh, you did
but
not.
I got frustrated and just finished the story and haven't gotten back to it yet. I did a little bit of the Okay, there's an area with a bunch of crashed like ships and stuff with really
I went through all of that.
That is the DLC area. Also, did you meet?
You're talking about aggravating.
Yes.
That was probably the hardest portion of the game for me. Like the enemies there were ridiculous.
Yes, that's what I realized, that maybe I don't need to be exploring this section. That maybe this section has nothing to do with the story.
I mean, I went to it after the story, but
I plan on going back and doing everything. Well, not everything, because one of the so when you beat the game, you get it's basically New Game Plus, but I think they call it like Ascension, and you get to pick an additional penance, and before you fight the first boss, which I thought was great. You don't even have enemies; you just get straight to a boss fight. That's how the game starts. You walk through a couple rooms of corpses, you get to the boss, and if you don't know what to expect, you might get rocked by that boss.
But you talking about just in general in the game, like not the second playthrough?
No, just in general, yeah.
Oh yeah, I did enjoy that as well. Like the first 2 or 3 rooms were basically, hey, this is how you move in the game, like a semi-tutorial, but then they just throw you into it.
Yeah. I appreciate that they had enough faith in gamers, but at the same time, ouch.
Yeah.
But no, like the ascendancy that I chose that I'm currently struggling with is you can only get hit 3 times before you die.
Oh my gosh.
But you're it's not it's not magic. What's the blue bar called? It's got some religious name, I think.
Oh my goodness. Prayer. That's your prayer.
Oh yeah, your prayer bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
That recharges really fast.
And if you get guilt, it blocks it up, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
whenever you die,
guilt.
You have some thorns come over the bar that represent your guilt from passing or something.
Yeah.
And you can either pray at specific altars to get rid of your guilt, or go back and find an effigy from where you died.
Yep.
And destroy that to get your guilt forgiven or something like that.
That's it.
And a bonus, I think there was
fervor. That's it. Fervor for your prayers. Yes.
And if you don't know what that means, it is a strong feeling or belief in something, because I had to Google.
And also there's a part of the game, like I guess maybe an achievement or something you can unlock if you go around and destroy every single one of those altars.
Oh.
That you pray at, you can destroy them.
I did not know that.
Wow.
Yep. Huh. It's almost like you're rejecting, like you're rejecting the belief in. So it's kind of a cool little thing.
Well, if this game is what my belief got me, I think I would be very tempted to reject it, because man, it is dark.
Yeah, so speaking of dark, after you beat that first boss, the first thing your character does is take off his pointed helmet.
Yeah.
Go up to the side of the giant you just killed, slice its side open, fill your helmet with its blood, put the helmet back on your head,
The blood
and
just
go
runs
forward to a guy whose only clothing is a loincloth, rope, and a pointed helmet.
Yep.
And from there, your sword that you get is given thorns so that you can always make yourself bleed if necessary.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that's actually a game mechanic as well. You can sacrifice your health for more fervor.
Yep.
Which I thought was an interesting way to balance that out.
Speaking of dude with just the loincloth, this game has 2 modes to me. One, no information at all. No controls. Just no hand holding. And 2, the most exposition dumps you could imagine.
Yes.
It gets worse as the game progresses too.
It's the guy that's tied around the feet and everything, right?
Yeah.
He just starts talking, and he don't stop talking, and he don't stop coming. And he just keeps on going.
Another thing that I like, speaking of talking, this game is fully voice acted by some of the most depressed English peasant sounding actors you've ever heard.
It's not wrong.
They all understood the assignment.
That's right.
They sure did.
Oh, can we say one thing? The lady statue that you go to with the humongous honkers, everybody just know that it's in the game. So it's not a statue though, is it?
She's an angel who's topless, blindfolded, and pierced with a lot of different swords.
Tons of swords sticking out of her, and just
I think she's actually the one that gives you the thorns in the handle of your sword.
Yeah, it's the one that actually boosts your
She increases your health every time you see her.
Yep, she increases my health.
Yeah. She gives you a permanent health boost every time you see her.
She pulls out a sword and does it too. It's weird. Yeah. But just so everybody knows, it's there. Just fair warning.
The biggest who's or what's it's.
That's right. That's right.
Pixel art though. So
pixel art. Yes. Still.
Just know it's in there.
That's right.
I don't remember that at all.
You might not have found it.
Yeah, you had to search for them.
You did. You had to search in random spots. It was close to the gas chambers, Tyler.
I had enough trouble finding the normal stuff, much less searching for who's and what's it's.
Dude, there are some secret rooms that I found on accident by attacking an enemy that was close to a wall, hitting the wall, and then a door opening.
That was a cool mechanic to me, was that you would randomly find areas that way. Mm-hmm. I actually really thought that was neat. So,
and I didn't find it, but I believe, and I could be lying here, but I believe after I beat it, I looked up some stuff on the game. There's a relic that allows you to know if secrets are close by. I don't think it shows you exactly where they are, but I think it kind of gives you a notification.
Like a spidey sense almost.
I think so. I might be thinking of a different game though, but I think that's something
that allows you to talk to the dead, and the dead tell you, allow you to talk to the ghost. The ghost.
If you think the loincloth rope guy gives exposition, those dead things, they give you lots of riddles that you don't know until after it's already done.
If usually you'll find them before a boss, pretty close to a boss room, and they kind of give you it's very vague.
Yes,
hints, but it kind of gives you an overlay.
Yeah, you don't understand it until after you've got murked a couple times. You're like, oh wait, that's what that guy said. That's what he was talking about. Oh man. So another fun thing that I meant to mention when we were talking about the behind the scenes thing. So the character design, right? He's got the pointed hat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, this game, when they were testing out character designs, it was a samurai with a pointed hood. And these guys being Spanish, they didn't think anything of it until one of the creative designers wait a minute. We don't want this guy wearing a white pointed hood.
Oh, no.
So the character design
different.
The pointed helmet, that would be better. They just really like the pointed head design for some reason. And I don't know, it makes it unique. I like it.
Yeah.
Honestly, every time I was climbing a ladder or going down a ladder, All I could think about was that one meme or whatever that came up with Dark Souls and the
Dark
pointed
Souls
helmet
meme,
guy.
yeah.
Like it just played in my head rent free the whole game. No,
Oh man.
there was also the collectibles.
Oh my
Pieces
gosh,
of
there
people.
are
Body parts?
millions of
Yes.
collectibles.
Yeah, I did get to that guy.
Oh,
Now
I didn't get them all, but go ahead, Mike.
I think I got them all, or at least the majority of them, to open the secret door that was in the room
I
with
did
him.
not.
And it leads to a boss fight with a
Ooh.
woman, and it isn't easy once you start figuring out, but I died a lot of times to some cheap things. But and guess what? When it was like a little thing, like when you hear the sirens call or something, or hear her singing, you can't stop. Like nobody can stop. Translated into game mechanics, once you start that boss fight, there is no pausing. You can't pause the game.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, it does not pause. You hit pause and it's like the song is too strong.
What?
And I'm just
the
like,
most on-brand thing I think I've heard.
I really liked it. Like I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. But there was a lot of times I was like, I need a pause.
So, Mike, you beat it. What was your toughest boss? For the regular story, no extras, I should say.
The regular story, honestly, I think I would say the end boss was the hardest, just because it was technically a 2-phase,
Yeah.
and it was a long 2-phase. The first phase was kind of easy. Like he was
first
pretty,
phase. I got, not hit.
yeah.
Took no hits of quite a few times, but
Now the second
then you
phase
die to
was
that
just
second phase a
aggravating.
lot, and then you come back to the first phase mad, and then you get killed at the first phase. Like, how did I die on that easy phase?
Exactly.
And that
like
only just makes you spiral into anger.
and the second phase wasn't hard. There was just a lot of things going on.
There's
I
a lot of
believe.
RNG to the platforms to get up to the dude's
Yeah.
face. That
And
was the
that's-
worst part for that.
And if you didn't have like the you didn't upgrade your abilities to where you had like the upward slash at the end
There's
of
an
your
upward
combo.
slash.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
upward
at the end of
slash
your
at the end
combo. Okay, I
combo.
thought.
Yeah. And then having the extra slash added with the upward slash, it kind of helped because it put you up and then you could keep hitting.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have that, it'd be a long battle. And then you got the fire firing at you. You've got I don't know what they are, the purple giant pillars of magic energy. The sword just floating around that really doesn't do anything.
As long as it didn't swing, that one was pretty
Yeah.
easy to avoid. But when it swung, I never could figure that out.
Yeah, that one was rough. But other than that, it was like, and then the poison bombs that would blow. It just kind of was. It was just a whole lot going on. It was more like a bullet hell kind of situation.
Kinda, yeah.
But after you do it a couple times, and then when you beat it, it was just like, yes. And then I got the bad ending, and I'm like, I don't care. I still enjoyed beating him.
So, speaking of bosses, and excuse me, also not having your handheld, I don't remember anything in like the names of everything because it was just so much. But the boss above the mountains in the castle with the hole in his head, I can't remember what it is, floated around.
Our Lady of the Charred Visage.
Yeah, that. So when she first appeared, there's, I guess, 5 seconds of invulnerability for her while she's appearing. And during that time, I tried to swing my sword and nothing happened. So in my brain, swords don't do any damage to her. So then I kind of jump around for like 30 seconds until the little purple balls start coming. And then I hit it back and it hurt her. And I was like, oh, that's how you do it. It's like a Legend of Zelda type deal. And Ganon, or Fate Ganon, you just hit the balls back, right? No.
I didn't figure out that you could hit the balls back until the end of the fight, and I was really upset because those hit me a lot. I think I died twice on that boss.
I died like 50 times before I figured out that you could actually like hurt it without hitting the balls back. And it was completely by accident. Like I just happened to be in the area. I just happened to be in the air and hit it. And I was like, it took damage. What? Hitting it with the sword took damage. That's weird. So I just, Then I defeated it actually pretty easily after that. But the first 50 times when I did not know you could do damage to it via your sword, that was insane.
Do you, I don't know if y'all may have gotten to him. I figure y'all might have. I know Caleb did, but fighting the guy with the big mace and the lightning, it was just a dude. Like it was a regular sized as you dude.
Esdras of the Anointed Legion.
Yeah. You could completely circumvent that fight.
That wasn't added until DLC though. That is extra.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you could actually go to that tomb of the sister's tomb.
He is Perpetua's brother.
Yeah.
From what I understand. And Perpetua was the first boss fight that I thought I was like, okay, this game is going to be really hard. And then I beat the boss first try. I was like, okay, maybe I'm really good at this. Then I went to the I don't know what to call the area with all the bells.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I started realizing, okay, this game is like really, really hard. But then I got used to it. And then every subsequent area, I'm like, okay, this game's really, really hard. And then I'd get used to it and then just get somewhere else. Be like, this is hard. And then it'd get better again. Until the end. And then it got really hard and stayed hard. That's what she said. But what were you saying about the boss?
But you
could just circumvent it? Yeah.
You could just circumvent it as long as you went down there first and went to the tomb and then went up and talked like they'd be and then I think later after I can't remember the other one that had the pointed hat.
Oh, that was like right before the finale?
Yeah, right before that you fought her. But you beat her but don't kill her.
I think I showed mercy on her. I think you had the choice to show mercy or kill. I think, maybe not.
Yeah, but if you did that and then later, if you would have went all the way back across the freaking map, back to where you started, all the way across there, she was in an area over there, like hurt up against an altar.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And if you would have circumvented the fight, he would have been there too.
Ooh, I just looked up. I wanted to look up her name. It's her name is Chrysanta of the Wrapped Agony.
Yes.
And she was hard. I thought that was a really hard boss fight. I thought she was more difficult than the final fight. But if you go for the true ending, she has a third phase.
Yeah. That third, I've seen that, and I was like, I don't even want to touch that, because that third phase, I watched some of it, I was like, I'm good.
All right, so are we ready to get to our final thoughts on this game? I think we all kind of know how we all feel.
Yeah.
This one's going to be divisive.
Oh, yeah.
So, to remind the listeners, we have 3 different rankings. We can either throw the game in the trash. That is a game we would not recommend to anybody. We can put it back in the bargain bin, which means, the game's fine for a couple play sessions. Nothing to write home about. And then we put the game on the shelf. This game gets our seal of approval. It's a great game. Recommend it to anybody. Mike, would you like to start?
Yes, I am going to vote to stick it up on the shelf.
Yes.
Because for everything that it is, you can play a straight through playthrough. You can come back and figure out all the extras that are in there. It's a great game. It's fun, entertaining, addictive, aggravating, in a good way.
All right. JB, you've been quiet most of this podcast. You said you didn't get very far into it. You give this game your recommendation, right?
My opinion of this game might actually surprise you. I would put it on the shelf.
Oh.
Despite the fact that I didn't play it very much, and I probably won't play it very much, honestly. I would put it on the shelf because I respect it. I am just trash at it. I think the game is beautiful. I think the theming is very interesting. I feel like overall, they did a wonderful job with this game. And if I wasn't so terrible at it, I would really enjoy it. But like I've never been good or fond of games like, Souls likes or even really Metroidvanias usually are too difficult for me. So yeah, I'm just not good at those kinds of games. The only Souls like I've ever enjoyed was Elden Ring, and I still didn't beat that.
I still didn't beat that.
Yeah, so surprisingly, yes, I would put it on the shelf, even though I didn't get very far and probably will never beat the game.
All right, Tyler, what are your thoughts?
All right, so I want to preface this with I'm the same as JB. I am not a Souls type player. There's a reason my gamer tag is Raging Iguana. I rage, and I don't need to add any like sort of game that's going to make that worse. So I've never been like a big Souls person. Any type of game that is hard for the sake of being hard, I'm more of a casual pleb, I guess. I would put it in the bin. In my mind, if I want to put it on the shelf, it's someone I can recommend to basically everyone. And this isn't that game to me. Like, I would not just recommend this blindly. I'd have to kind of know, hey, what type of games do you play?
That's fair.
I wouldn't just if my wife, who is a very new gamer, I would not recommend this game to her. Like, no, stay far away. Yeah. And the 3 reasons, 2 are a little just personal, and 1 is the main reason that the game just kind of didn't get there for me. 1 is, and I know this is wrong, but being a Christian myself, I could not shake the feeling that the whole vibe of this game was the Reddit neckbeard. Actually, this is what Christianity really is. And I know it's not that, because the game developers they're Spanish. They are obviously just took from that religion. That's not what they're trying to say. I just couldn't shake the feeling of that. I'm not saying that is it at all. I understand it's not that. That's just how I kind of felt at the very beginning. I was like, just could not get through that. 2, I wanted a dash so bad. So bad. I hit B on my controller so many times, expecting
somebody get this man Mega Man X.
That's right. That's right.
I know. I think you said at one point in time in the future of the game you might can get it. It was so lacking to me to not have a dash, and I just couldn't. That was my 2 personal things. I just couldn't quite get over that hump. But the 3rd, legitimate, and one of the main things that just put the game back in the bin for me is the pacing. At the very beginning, you get through the first little boss, you go through the little town, you get through the 2 areas, and then you get to the first main area, and you're going down levels, and you have basically a save point every other level. So you're kind of getting to this groove. This level, then save, this level, then save, and you get to your boss, and it's going well. And then you get to the sewers, and it takes all of that you just went through, which I enjoy that, but then it adds the slime, and it slows the pace of the game to a crawl to me, because instead of just, if you have the skill to be able to go through there real quick, sometimes it's just bad timing and you have to wait, and especially with the ladders. And I thought, well, maybe that's just this area. So I went to the mountain, like I said, but the mountain has the whole deal where you have to wait sometimes for the wind to hit the right way to be able to go back and forth. And it's the same thing. It's just that slight slowdown of, hey, I've been through this level 50 times because I've died 50 times on it. And if it wasn't for that mechanic, I could just breeze through it. But instead, it's not a skill issue. I'm sitting here waiting on the wind to change directions so I can jump further to the next ladder. Or I'm waiting on this ladder for the drop to hit on the other one so I could jump back and forth. And the game, when that happened, that's what really just kind of got me uninterested in the game. And I know that's a long explanation, but that's the main reason, I guess, is the pacing and the fact that I cannot recommend it to anybody. So, great game. great game. I love the look. I think the developers are awesome on what they did. I just can't recommend it to everybody, so it's going back in the bin for somebody special to pick up out of there.
All right, Jason.
Yeah. Well, I knew this one would be split. But I will have to say that I do agree with Tyler. I would put it back in the bin as well. And I was actually stuck between back in the bin and on the shelf. But after playing this game for a few hours, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to come back to this. This will be great. And I say that and never even came back to the game to play it anymore. So for me personally, it just wasn't my style of game that worked well for me. Thought it was beautiful, thought it was such an interesting concept, but kind of like JB was saying, I'm not really a big Metroidvania player, which I know Tyler was talking about that as well. So it's not something that I guess resonated huge into me. It was super fun for a couple of hours when I first started, and I was like, oh, I'm going to definitely come back to this, and I still haven't gone back to it. If I had gone back to it, I probably would have put it on the shelf, but I just couldn't make myself go back and keep playing it. That being said, echoing everyone else, beautiful art, super cool concept. I'm just not a good enough gamer for it. That's all there is to it. So it would go back in the bin for me.
All right, so we're 2-2. And based on everything I've said, I think we already know how I'm going to vote.
Oh, yeah.
But I chose this game on a whim. I played it for maybe an hour or so first time a while back. I think Amazon gave it away for free or something. And I liked what I played a little bit, but something about me just didn't want to pick it back up. But it was nagging at me like, dude, that game's probably going to get so much better. So when the game I was originally going to pick for this episode wasn't on sale anymore, I saw Blasphemous. I'm like, you know what? Maybe now's the time for a second chance. So that's what I chose. And I'm very glad I did. This, I had recently tried to play some old school games. Recently did Metroid Fusion again. That's one I come back to a lot. I tried Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And while I love the Castlevania games, the art and everything, I always thought they were too difficult, which is ironic considering how much I love this game. I've never beaten a Castlevania game. This game, I don't know if it was just because it was a little more modern. I felt controlled amazingly. I thought everything, the music made the atmosphere amazing. The pixel art, there were moments where you're just walking across the top of a mountain and the art in the background, just to be pixel art, I was just thinking, what this game, some of the scenes and set pieces could be used in an argument to convey that video games are a legitimate form of art. And I really appreciated that. On top of all of that, having it on a handheld got me nostalgic, playing it around Christmas time. In between all the family gatherings, I'd play the game for a little bit, set the Switch down, go to the gathering. While I was at the gathering, I'm thinking, I bet there's a secret behind that door over there that I could get if I just... The game. I was thinking about the game when I wasn't playing it, and I haven't had that in a single-player game in a long time. Something about this game just resonated with me this time. It's going on the shelf for me. I know it's not something you can recommend for everybody, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to try. So... 3-2, Blasphemous is going on the shelf.
There it is.
It is done.
I'm not upset. I think it. Like I said, I think it's a great game.
It's a beautiful
just
game.
Not one.
Yeah. I mean, everyone that voted to put it back in the bin, like everything they said about it, the reasons why they put it in the bin can't be argued.
Legitimate criticisms. Yeah.
Like they're legitimate points.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I think all of us agree it's a gorgeous game.
Dude, there's just something about modern pixel art that I really like.
I agree. And
this game did it near perfect.
Yeah.
This was no Chicken Strike Cluck Ops.
All right, Game Kitchen. You made it onto the shelf by the hair of your chitty chin chin. Let's see if Blasphemous 2 can do it.
Yeah, I'll wait for that to be $4.99.
Yeah, and still pretty pricey.
Yeah.
It just came out 2024 though, so there's time.
Oh yeah,
There's time. We got time.
definitely.
Well, I think Blasphemous only came out 2017, and I got it for free a few years back, maybe 2019, 2020. So, I mean, I don't know why they did that, but it was free through Twitch Prime back when it was still Twitch Prime and not Prime Gaming.
Right.
I remember that, so it had to be a few years back. All right, question of this episode. With all of the recent game announcements that are not so recent anymore because we are slow at putting this podcast out, what are you guys most excited about in gaming this year? We had the Xbox developers announcements. We had the Switch 2. There was some indie stuff announced. Halo's making some changes, possibly coming to other consoles. What are you most excited for, or what do you hope happens in gaming this year?
I want to see Mickey Mouse in Fortnite.
Mickey Mouse in Fortnite before GTA 6.
Right.
Hiya! It's my AK-47!
Hi!
Wait. I want Kingdom Hearts, Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Donald, and Sora in Fortnite.
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh, that'd be beautiful, actually.
Donald in Fortnite would actually be great.
Absolutely.
I don't know what's in the. I know I'm excited for the Switch 2, but I'm always the guy who waits a while before getting a new system.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the Switch too, because the Switch has been one of my favorite consoles of all time.
Oh man, it's so good. And okay, the fact that it's gonna be backwards compatible with all the Switch games already too.
Right.
Smart move.
Man. Such a smart move, Nintendo. Oh man, great move. I mean, it's gonna be epic. So
I did see, and I don't know if it was official or not, that Metroid Prime 4 is most likely going to do what Breath of the Wild did and come out on old and new consoles at the same time. So if you get it on Switch 2, it'll probably look a little better and run a little smoother.
Sure.
But I was the guy who got Breath of the Wild for Wii U, so I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4, regardless of what system it comes on.
Caleb, you could have just said I was the guy who owned a Wii U.
That's true.
You are correct. I have it
guy.
sitting right here on my desk. I'm saving it for a special YouTube video I got coming up, maybe.
Ooh. Wait, did you have Wind Waker on the Wii U?
Yes, I did get the Wind Waker HD remaster.
See, I want that on the Switch too. I've already told you that though, but
yeah.
Oh well. But I don't think they're going to do that.
I also got Pokken Tournament before realizing it was also on the Switch. I didn't want to buy the game twice. But now I can't play anybody because nobody plays it on the Switch. I mean, the Wii U.
There you go.
Well, not that many people play it on the Switch either, sadly.
Nobody plays it.
Sadly, like I'm in a Discord for Pokken Tournament, and that's like that's pretty much it. It's a Discord fighter. You have to actually go and find people to play with outside of the game.
Dang.
Now, I mean, just not going to spend too much time on this, but just briefly, Pokken Tournament was created by the Tekken developers.
Yes.
Well, Harada, the head of Tekken, has said that he would love to do a Pokken Tournament too.
I would love to see it get another chance in the limelight.
Yeah, he said he would love to do it. It's just, it's not on him. It's on Nintendo to ask him to do it.
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't like making sequels to games that didn't make millions of dollars.
Right. And yeah, I'm one of those people. I would love to see a new Pokken Tournament game. I love that game. But yeah, it wasn't very commercially successful because the Wii U wasn't commercially successful, and then the game re-released on Switch, and by that point nobody really cared.
Yeah. At least the Wii U led us to the Switch, guys.
Sub-question for everyone that has to do with the recent news and upcoming. And this, Caleb kind of made a joke about this when it first was announced. Who here, vote yes or no, believes that the Switch 2 will be released with Skyrim Ultra Deluxe version for the Switch 2?
Day one. Day one.
Day one. Yes.
Todd Howard. He's listening.
I'm putting it out into the universe. Yes, it's going to happen.
It's going to have fishing included.
15-year anniversary, Ultra Deluxe, 360 no-scope, Collector's Edition.
It'll be the triple with Morrowind and Oblivion as well.
There is an Oblivion remaster that's been rumored to be dropping.
Listen, bro. I would play the snot out of some Oblivion. Oh my gosh, if it got remastered. Oh my gosh.
So I had a crappy laptop when Skyrim came out, and I did not have an Xbox or a PlayStation. I had a Wii and a laptop, right? So when Skyrim came out, I'm like, I want a game like this. Yeah. So I got Oblivion for my PC. Mm-hmm. Freaking loved it. Later, got a better PC, got Skyrim, loved the gameplay in that, but I liked the world better in Oblivion.
Dude, Oblivion, the world building, oh my gosh, it's such a good game.
Mesh modern creation engine with Oblivion, and I mean, let's face it, the creation engine was outdated when Skyrim came out, but it works for it. So
right.
Welcome to Bethesda. Yeah. Okay, so
I tell you, one game I'm excited for the Xbox announcements is Fable.
Oh boy! Yeah.
I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm like, y'all are gonna fail at this. Like, I just feel it because Fable 3 was okay.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, but you couldn't beat Fable 1 and 2.
No. Fable 3 was pretty good, but the first two were so much better.
And then you had Fable Connect.
Yeah, I didn't play that.
I didn't either because I'm like, that's not Fable, guys.
Right? What is this? This is poop.
So I'm excited for that. I'm just very, very skeptical of it.
Yeah, it's one of those like, please do this right. I don't think you will, but please.
So this might blow y'all's mind because it just blew mine. I cannot believe that Fable 3 came out in 2010.
I was just about to say that. Like, the game just came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we had a Fable game.
Oh my gosh.
That was still 4 years after I graduated, so I feel old.
Oh, man.
The unending march of time.
I know.
Holy cow.
I just want another good Fable game, man.
Yeah.
Just want that.
It's been 15 years.
Everybody's like, where's Elder Scrolls 6? Where's GTA 6? I'm like, bro, come on. What about Fable?
I don't even see. There's been so much hype for GTA.
There's no way GTA 6 will like be good. Like, it'll be good, but not to what everybody's gonna feel.
I think that's why they still haven't put it out, guys. Like, they're
scared.
I'd be terrified.
Well, see, and then you also have this. They're making way too much money on GTA Online and Elder Scrolls Online.
I don't think 6 is going to launch with an online.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it may.
Yeah, it'll have it. I don't know if it'll launch with it.
GTA 5 online didn't have online.
It came later.
Launch. It was later.
But it's been 14 years? No, it's been 11 years. It'll be 11 years this year. I think 5 came out in 2014.
I was about to say, I think I had Grand Theft Auto 5 on the 360.
Yeah.
So
2013, September 17th.
So, just so everyone knows, the trailer for Elder Scrolls 6 released June 10th, 2018. It is the year of our Lord, 2025. It is getting close to 7 years since the date.
It's almost been a decade since the trailer released.
And we have no other news that I know of.
But I think too, it is like before they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna release it, and then you have people looking like all this hype and all of this, and even developers are like, we can't deliver on what they're expecting.
Right.
Like, there's no way to do a successful launch.
Yeah, and talking about Elder Scrolls, based on the massive success that Skyrim was.
Yes.
Like, if you compare the success of Skyrim to its predecessors, like Morrowind and Oblivion, it's outrageous how much bigger Skyrim was as far as, for a casual audience and such.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people never played previous Elder Scrolls games. They only played Skyrim.
Yeah.
So if you take that into account, what happens if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out and you don't have shouting as a mechanic? People are going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side note, I tried playing Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall yesterday to come up with ideas for streaming. If you didn't know, that game has one of the largest maps in video game history.
Yeah,
to spread the map out, it is as big as England.
Oh my gosh.
It is legitimately the largest crafted world in video. I think a lot of it's done procedural, but like procedural in the 90s. I think it was a 90s game.
Wow.
Yeah,
But,
I think it was 90s.
That is wild.
Game map is massive. You can play that game forever and not see the same thing twice.
Jeez.
And that's the thing too. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying, like Skyrim too. You got to think about, has any other game ever hit every generation, like all these past generations of consoles, and keeps getting re-released and still hitting record sales?
Right, exactly.
It's
GTA 5. I mean
GTA 5.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean,
No,
GTA
no,
5 though was
mean.
really like, honestly, it hit kind of good on the 360 and stuff, but it really was like the Xbox One and Xbox X.
Yeah, let's say it this way then. Without multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the only reason really for Grand Theft Auto is multiplayer kind of. So,
right.
I mean,
That's what I
Skyrim's
wanna
a
see in
single player game that has
2025.
had re-releases constantly,
Yep.
and they still sell. Like,
I need more high budget, solid single player experiences.
Yeah.
That is what I want to see.
I will quickly shout out though, like if you guys have never played Elder Scrolls Online, give it a chance. It's actually a really fun MMO. Like
I tried.
It is not.
I played for a while.
Yeah, I played Elder Scrolls Online during the beta and enjoyed it, and bought the game at launch. Played it a ton when I was in college, and then I quit playing for years, and then I started playing again like a year or two ago. And I haven't played it in a few months now. It's just kind of one of those you play it nonstop for months, and then you just kind of put it down for a long time too. But
I mean,
wow,
it could literally be on Bargain Bin Buddies, guys. Y'all know that, right?
That's true.
Yeah,
it's like a $5 game. So,
but yeah, I'm a big fan of Elder Scrolls Online personally. It's the only MMO I've ever really enjoyed, and that's largely due to being a big Elder Scrolls fan, but also just I've never really gotten into an MMO. Just never been that kind of gamer, I guess. But Elder Scrolls Online just checked the boxes for me.
Yeah,
I know just a lot of the games that have been released over this, like technically big budget single player games. I don't know, it just have not hit the mark for me.
Yeah,
Doom, Titanfall 2. Doom.
Oh, Titanfall 2 though was a while back.
I know.
That's
been 11 years now. Good gosh.
But I'll tell you one thing though, Titanfall 2, masterpiece. Love that game. It is
great game.
I just love everything about the game.
For real, that was going to be my Bargain Bin Buddy pick this time. But the day I was going to choose it, it wasn't on sale after 12.
That is so sad.
Something keeps hitting me, like the Hogwarts Legacy. That game.
I own that game and still haven't even played it once.
Well, I wouldn't like it. It got hyped for other reasons. I will say I'm not going to get into the reasons it got hyped over.
Correct.
But I was looking at it as, okay, this could be really awesome. Like all of the Hogwarts, like all of the Harry Potter world, and then you're going to Hogwarts and stuff. And honestly, I played it. got into it a little bit, and then after a little while, I was just like, so I'm playing another open world RPG, but I can use a little bit of spells.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't. I mean, it was kind of beautiful at first. It's like, oh, this is Hogwarts. That got old real freaking quick. Like you're like, oh, I need to go here. Oh, I need to traverse freaking 40 miles upstairs, all this to get to this classroom.
I played the mess out of that game.
I think it just had its first major DLC too, didn't it?
Did it?
Getting close. The last time I don't know. I have to check it again. But yes, I played. I loved Hogwarts Legacy. I'm gonna lie.
I can name one big, like, massive single player game. Well, technically it does have co-op, but counting it as single player, that I've just genuinely loved in recent years. Baldur's Gate 3. That's it.
It's on my
Game
to-do
of the
list.
year.
Yeah, I mean, it was game of the year. It was incredible.
Okay, I have a very sore spot with that game. And I honestly, that one thing that had happened to me, it may be petty as can be, but I will not play the game because of it.
No.
Like, I do not like it because of that one little thing they did to me.
Oh, no.
It was in the very first starting area, like
Oh, no.
the druid area when you're in the little town.
Yeah.
But, okay, for some reason, I got the deluxe version. I think you got like the Mask of Many Faces or something as a thing where you could change races.
Yeah,
and
I know what
with
you're
it.
talking about.
Well, I was like, okay, cool. I'll just do this. And then like I changed my race and everything, went up to the merchant, snuck around, pickpocketed him, successfully rolled, stole what I wanted, and then I left, walked around the corner away from everything, changed back into my regular person, and then I'm just walking around. Well, here comes the merchant from a mile away, and then he's like, hey, you stole from me. What?
Are you
And
sure
there's
about that?
there is no way to steal from the merchants. They auto know you stole from them.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
And I
So you
was
got
like,
called.
I'm done. I was like, this is D&D. I'm done. No.
It ruined my immersion.
I'm done.
I should not have to pay for jack crap if I roll well enough.
Exactly.
It's true.
Yeah,
And
I
nope.
will say, as someone who has actually played D&D as well, which I know, Mike, you're a DM.
Mhm.
I'm typically the DM as well, but as someone who has played D&D, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is not that. Like, it is
Mm-mm.
most certainly not just video
Yeah.
game D&D. It's close. It's as close as I think you can get to video game
Yes.
version of D&D,
Yeah.
but it's not at all the same.
I mean, I liked it. It's just that just irked me so hard. Like, I got so petty over that I just killed everyone in the Druid village. And that was it. I was just like, I'm done. I don't know. It's weird things like that in games. It's just like, don't give me the option if you don't want me to do it.
Right.
Like, you could just say, I could go like sneak behind them, and it just has an X saying you can't pickpocket from merchants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah, I actually, funny enough though, I actually still have not beat that game. I made it to Act 3. Like, me and my wife were doing a co-op playthrough, and we made it to Act 3. And I don't know if anybody here has gotten to Act 3 of Baldur's Gate 3. That is very intensive. Like, you are actually in the city of Baldur's Gate, and it will eat your graphics card to pieces.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
We had to put the game down until we upgraded the graphics card in my wife's PC. We literally could not play it because it kept crashing her PC.
Wow.
So we had to upgrade her graphics card. Eventually we did do that, but it had been so long that we just kind of didn't pick the game back up. I think we started 1 or 2 new playthroughs after that just to kind of get a feel for it again before going back to that original playthrough, and we have not beat it yet.
Dang.
But yeah, that is a warning. Baldur's Gate 3, Act 3, when you are in the city of Baldur's Gate, it will absolutely murder your PC.
Nice.
Which is funny because I actually can play the game on my Steam Deck just fine.
Huh.
But I don't know that I've ever actually tried to play in Act 3 on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I think as a game developer, it would be an awful task to do optimizations on modern PCs because there are a million different parts out there.
Oh yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, that's like Call of Duty. I've been playing Black Ops 6, and it is so poorly optimized on PC. Honestly,
Yes, it is.
Kind of like
It's
Chicken
hard.
Strike, you start playing a game and
Yeah.
it starts, you realize, hey, this guy only optimized it for the highest end systems, but he put out a $1.99 game.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, except Call of Duty has a massive budget, and they should do better.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing about Black Ops 6. Before they released Season 1, when they first released the game, everything ran fine for me. Like it ran good, it played good, it was fun. Soon as Season 1 released, straight down the toilet.
Yeah,
It just got worse and worse with optimization. Like everything just kept getting more laggy or buggy, or it just
Season 2 just started like a couple days ago, and I'm still enjoying the game, but I can agree with that sentiment. Like Season 1 caused a lot of new issues, and apparently Season 2 has as well. I've heard people saying that Season 2 has caused like huge FPS drops for a lot of people. And apparently I saw an article today that says that something in the Season 2 update is causing a lot of blue screens of death.
Oh, that would be it.
Yeah, like, you blue screen my PC? Nah, bro. Fix your damn game.
Or even the fact they put it out saying you had to wait, 45 more days till they could fix the anti-cheat?
Right.
So that's what we think about games this year. I hope you guys followed that.
That was probably the longest discussion we've had at any
It was so long.
There was a lot of tangents.
All right. So he kind of mentioned it at the beginning. We are welcoming Jason as a permanent member to the podcast. Welcome our number 5, Jason.
Welcome.
To celebrate, we're kind of breaking our own rules. This podcast was an idea that I had a couple years ago, and originally Jason was a part of it. And then life happened, and we didn't know if we were going to do the podcast, and we decided to move forward with the podcast. Jason politely said it was okay if we did it without him. We had him back on last episode, had too much fun. He's in. But when we were going to do this originally, he spun the wheel. So Jason, this is the game you picked in October of 2023.
That game is Screen Cheat. And when I picked it in October of 2023, it was only $5 because it was on sale. It is back up to $15 now, and I am so sorry that it technically doesn't fit our bargain bin buddies, but it definitely did at the time that I picked it.
I have kept an eye on this game over the past little bit, and this game goes on sale almost any excuse it can. So by the time the next podcast comes out, it will probably have been $2.99 or $4.99 at one point.
Yeah, I actually did pick it up on sale not long ago.
Great.
Because I think Caleb had mentioned this game as your pick previously, and I caught it on sale since then. So
perfect. That works great then.
So we got it for $4.99. It's currently against the rules for our podcast. It's $14.22 on Steam right now, which is an odd price, but
that is an odd price.
It'll be bargain bin price probably sometime before the next podcast. So if you want to keep an eye out, pick up a copy of Screen Cheat, and we'll see you all in the next episode.
Sounds like a good time.
Peace out.